What's up, everybody? It's Trueflight here. We're back in the crew. It's one of, if not my most favorite game right now, and you can tell by all the videos I put up for it. I am currently playing on my laptop because my gaming PC is down while I wait for my CPU to be replaced, and just wanted to let you know why it's in a little bit lower res. You can kind of see the anti-aliasing's off and things like that. So anyway, that's the reason for that. But this time I'm going to go through and talk about some areas where the game is lacking or where I think it fails and needs improvement. And despite being my favorite game, yes, I do have some criticisms about it. I've had a couple rant videos in the past, but this one we're going to take a look at some of the areas which I think they could improve on and need to improve on with more competition coming here soon. But first off, we're going to look at things. The number one thing I see a lot of people complain about is the lack of cars. So head over to our garage here. I have a pretty healthy garage. I have pretty much every car you can buy in the game. There's a couple you have to pay cash for that were from the season pass that I don't own. Back over to page 1 here. And they go in alphabetical order on here, but the key thing that are missing are name brands, and brands are a hard one because in order to get those, there's contract deals and things like that, so you never know what's going on in the background. But less than that are the ones that they already have licenses for, and are just missing straight up vehicles. Like, I'm trying to go through here. Kind of skipping through. Should have been reading them off as I go, but most people who watch these videos play the crew. They already know what's in here. So, come on, where are they? Oh, we're in our M's. Here we go. We got our Mazdas. Of all the Mazdas in the game, we only have the MX-5 and the RX-7. That's it. They already have a license with Mazda, so they need to look into some of those other cars. I really want to see the RX-8 in there. Would be cool, and things like that. No reason they can't add those. They've already got the licensing deal, unless they're like exclusive to some other title, which could be. I don't know how these things work, but Nissan's another great example. We have the 370Z, and we have the Fair Lady, and the Skyline, I think is it. Yep. Where's the GTR? You know, things like that. They're licensed brands that are missing key cars. As for brands we're missing, there's no Toyotas at all in the game. No Civics, no 86, nothing. Things like that could definitely add a lot to the game. You can see here's the page. Oh, I'm missing a couple oddball ones still, but most of these cars came with the season pass, and I haven't got around to getting it. I may, just because I want the 12C. I keep talking about it. The Saline comes in that too. But anyway, there is a nice selection of cars now. I think I own 63. There's what, another 3 there. 6 there. 6 there. There's another 16 there that I don't own on top of that. So there's a nice selection now, but it's still lacking compared to some other games, and definitely lacking in specific car models. And there's something easy they can patch in and add too. Specs for another existing cars is another huge one that they're slowly kind of trickling in. But here's a great example now. The 1969 Dodge Charger only comes in drift in the extreme specs. Why is there no drag spec on that car? Or any of the classic muscle cars? My, oops, hit the wrong button there. My 69 Camaro is the example that I've been using since Wild Run came out, of just not understanding why they don't have the drag specs in there. This car, for example, even has the wheelie bars in the chute, and every time I drive it, my people mistake and think it's in a drag spec, and it's been that way since launch, and still doesn't have a drag spec, which is just funny. So, one of those things that really needs some work on there. Another one, whoops, while we're already here in the shop, is the decals. I'm not sure what we can do with this since the game's already out. But if you're not familiar, the game only lets you choose from pre-existing stickers. And they're broken up into different formats, so you can kind of pick and choose what you want, but that's it. You can't change the color on the decals, you can't change the placement on them. It was just a very weak look at a decals compared to previous games. I actually came to the crew from Need for Speed World, which is their online game, and in that game you could place individual stickers, and then you had XYZ axis thing where you could move them anywhere on the car, and then you could colorize them, and you could stretch them and bend them, and you could overlap, and you could literally put 50 stickers on your car and overlap them in different patterns to completely change the look of the car. Where in this game you get whatever the default is, you can't even change the color. So unfortunately, that's something that's pretty much hard-coded into the game, so I don't see there being a lot of way to change that at this point, but something to look at for future expansion. Painting's another thing. You can only do solid colors. There's tons of colors to choose from and different paint styles. Oddly enough, it was pointed out to me the other day that in the flat, there's no flat black, which is just dumb. That's odd because I own every color available. There's no black in there. But yeah, you can do solid color cars, or you can do a two-tone, which is top and bottom half like that. And that's it. No ability to paint just the hood, paint just the fenders. That's another thing Need for Speed had. Let you do a lot of customization because you could just do pretty much whatever you wanted with the car. They do kind of make up for it in some aspect with the body kits, but even those they've been lacking on as of late. I'll say it's this one. I think I own almost every spec or every part for this car. Oh, maybe this isn't the one. One of these cars, but I mean, there's a very difference in whether you want regular headlights or the LED ones. Then you got your ones here with the carbon wings, or stock here with no headlights, which I kind of like. And there's other choices. I think maybe the stock version I have everything on. I bought it once for a video. I don't remember what one, but body kits are okay, but yeah, like I said, they've been slacking on those as of late. And some of the specs, circuit, and I can't think what the other one is. There's two of them now. You can't customize at all. Which is really obnoxious. I know circuit's one of them. And a lot of them have such small, subtle differences that you can't even tell the difference. Which is just annoying at times. But at least they try in that. They really need the ability to remove wings from all cars. Certain specs force you to take a wing, which is annoying. Rims they have a huge selection of, so I can't really complain about that. But at the same time, there's no customization to them. Everyone's the exact same diameter, rim size, no matter what car you're on. The trucks, the cars, the exotics all have the exact same rim, which is kind of annoying. Save them a lot in artwork, I guess, but previous games have had sliders where you can customize, rim depth, wheel size, low profile tires, things like that, and this you're pretty much stuck to the defaults. So while there's an amazing selection of rims, and these are just the ones I own, there's tons I haven't bought, and you keep winning them now. Is where most of these came from. But yeah, there's definitely could use some improvement there. That's something they might be able to work on. Not sure why you couldn't add a slider to distort those. Oh, what do we want to take out for a spin while we're going out? So we don't drive a lot. Take out the Impala. As for camera angles and things, they've slowly been working on those. This is the default, it's the up close. There's this one which I think is more of a cinematic camera. It lets the car turn more before the camera moves. As you can see here, the camera's pretty much staying stationary. It takes a lot for it to actually turn. The only thing I find annoying with this one is when you hit the nitrous, the camera moves and shakes. It's weird. And we have a far away view, standard on almost all games now. Again, that one does the turning delay thing. You have your normal hood view, the bumper cam, which always makes it seem like you're going a lot more faster than you actually are. I probably should know before I hit something that I am driving with the keyboard since I'm on the laptop. Haven't hooked the wheel back up yet. It's not as easy as it looks. Then you have your in-car. The in-car view is pretty nice on most cars. You can actually look around. The limiting factor here is the up-down. That's as high as you can look up. That's as far as you can look down. While we're on the in-car camera, the mirrors still annoy me to this day. They do not have reflections in them. You can kind of get a rough, fuzzy look at what's behind you, but like it doesn't actually reflect anything. Like you can see that car right there. It's not in my mirror. So that's kind of an annoying thing. But if you switch to the outer camera, you can see the mirrors out here actually have slightly better reflections than they do in the car. I think they're actually the same, but the camera is farther away, so they look clearer. They're not as fuzzy. But even those aren't correct. It's just a really... Oh! That's one thing about driving a heavy car. It's like a tank. But that's one of the things that definitely could be worked on. I'm not sure why you would launch a game without mirrors, let alone have it out for almost 2 years now. Can't really complain about the graphics. The update on those definitely made an improvement in most areas. There are a few oddball things. If I can actually find. My laptop doesn't help because it's strained a little bit running this on settings here. Somewhere near here there's this weird visible seam line between like zones. Don't know if I'll be able to find it, but one of the downsides of the new graphics. Let's see, it's down there. I won't be able to find it just because I want to. You can drive around this area though, you'll find it yourself. Even on my high-end gaming machine it shows up, it's just weird looking. It's like a tear in the terrain. But there's also the weird map loading issue and infinite loading bug, which now going on, I want to say November's when it came out, I believe, Wild Run. So we're going on a year, and those bugs still are there. They can't track them down. They haven't found a way to fix them, which is kind of obnoxious. But luckily my laptop doesn't seem to have the map loading bug. And if you're not familiar with what that is, I had a video posted a while back about it because it happened during a police chase. And it's basically when you're driving along and you'll run into a line of unloaded texture. Let's see. I haven't actually checked to see if the laptop had it, and I haven't run into it yet. Always happens on this stretch of road. There's an overpass right there. There's a skill challenge right here for a drag speed test. And then when you're coming down about here, you'll hit it. So we'll go up here and we'll actually run that stretch and see. This is how you test to see if your game has this problem. You come here first off and you drive down this section and you'll know for sure if you're going to have this issue. I'm almost positive the laptop doesn't. Curious enough, the laptop is running a NVIDIA Intel setup. It's got an i7 because I use it for video editing. But it doesn't seem to have this issue where the main computer, which is an AMD ATI, does. So I don't know if it has something to do with drivers. I'm not going to do well on this because it's a drag race one in a car. Usually it's right here. Yep, see, and it doesn't have it. What'll end up happening though is you'll end up running into an invisible wall of untextured terrain. So if you look way off in the distance, how things are kind of blurry and low res, you'll run into that wall and you'll stop, but your engine will be revving, your tires will still be going. Literally looks like you're sitting here like this, but you'll still be listed as going 100 and something. And you can't do anything, and if it happens during an event, you get stuck. You can hold R, or whatever your reset button is, for back on track. It'll reset you. Or you can bring up the map and close it real quick, and that'll fix it. But it's an obnoxious issue. Only seems to affect certain people, and they haven't been able to track it down in over a year. The other one, which thankfully I have not run into in a while now, is the infinite loading bug. And that happens when you fast travel. I want to hop down here to Vegas. You do fast travel, and it's got this little loading section here. It'll get stuck there and will never load. Or you'll complete an event and the results page, when it goes to load, will never load. Happened to me for a little while on the Big D, which is one of my favorite events, and it kept getting hung up on the results screen, which never completed the race, so you never got any credit for it, which is very annoying, especially after the third or fourth time you complete the race. Let's stick with our classic car theme here. Wow, this handle's completely different than that. Anyway, that's one of the major things that affects some people. Oddly enough, the mentality of most people is, if it doesn't affect you, then it's not a problem. And it's kind of annoying, but the community's pretty good about things. I still have an issue on my laptop here where when I first launch the game, it will hang on the loading 1 of 1 or whatever it is, 5 of 6 sometimes. And it literally just sits on that screen. And you have to go into the task manager and manually kill the crew helper task. I'm not sure what the exact name of the file is, but you can kill that process and wait a couple seconds, and the game boots up, no problem. And I sent in a help ticket for that, and after like, I think it was 4 months, they finally got back to me, and they're like, yeah, we don't know how to fix that. And they gave me a bunch of crew credit. And they're like, sorry. And I couldn't even play the game at the time, and thankfully it was another user in the forums who found that fix for me and actually let me get back to playing, because I couldn't play at all with it that way. convenient enough here. This kind of went to what I was going to talk about next, is the weather, which was added in Wild Run. They're getting better with it, but it rains far too much, far too often. There's a guy hitting me now. Can't see because I got lures. I have my chat box off, so I don't know if he's trying to talk to me, but nobody ever talks either, but that's something I'll get to. But, the weather's kind of cool, the effects are neat, especially if you're playing first person like this. The roads get wet, they get kind of slick, especially if you're in a circuit car. Those circuit tires do not do well in the rain. I think this guy thinks he's cool because he's trying to race me in his high-end car, and I'm in a almost stock performance old Lambo here, which I can't even keep on the road. Anyway, what's this? You're not gonna talk to me. I don't want to associate with you. Anyway, but yeah, so it rains far too often. Here I am in the salt flats in the middle of the Midwest here. It's pouring. You can go out to Death Valley and it's pouring rain. They've been getting slightly better on it, but it's still annoying when it happens. Despite the cool graphics and look to it, they did put a lot of work into that, and we appreciate it. It's just too much, too often. The summit qualifiers, there was one time when it was raining in like every event, every time. Oh my god, did that get annoying. So they have toned it back, and the qualifiers, it usually only rains in one event. It seems to rain less often in the open world. I don't know if they've changed anything or I'm just noticing it less, but they have added some different styles though. There's like, this is just a really light rain. It can really come down pretty hard. There's even thunderstorms now. So that's something that's kind of cool. And if you're in your exterior camera, the water actually beads up on the screen. And that stupid clock. And we moved and it's still there. The next big thing that... switch cars again here. Let's do a little off-road. Haven't we driven off-road in a while? It's like the Hummer. Oops, wrong button. The Hummer. Bought that thing. I don't think I've ever actually driven it. Then we can get rid of this guy. Got my school bus. Follow me in your Lambo. Whatever he's driving. So anyway, community is one of the things that is a huge issue in the game for me. The guy still hasn't talked to me, but in a game that's called The Crew, where the object is to get together with friends and form a crew, as they always advertised, and go out and do things together. You can do races, events, and things, up to 4 players in a crew. And they did such a cool job at advertising it, and they showed the crews together with custom logos, and yet none of that stuff's really in the game. Crews end up being more of a pickup group. You can add 4 people to your crew. You can go out and do stuff together. You have a friends list, and it'll compare your scores to... Oh, what the heck did I hit? Apparently I hit a tiny little... Yeah, that tiny little bit of rocks right there flipped me over. Nice. The same guy is still following me. I don't know him either. But anyway, the ability to make a permanent crew, which I attuned to something like a guild in an MMO, where you can work together for goals and you have your own little in-house records and things. Lots of potential there, lots of things you can do. None of that is actually in the game, which is very disappointing. It ends up being little more than just a pickup group type thing. You go out and do some fun stuff together, but what if you have more than 4 friends? You know, you're limited to 4 in a group. Some of the race events support up to 8 people, I think, but you can only put 4 in a crew. Seems like silly restrictions, definitely things they could work on and upgrade. Another big problem here, as you can tell, is the fact that nobody socializes in the game. I know I'm being anti-social right now myself, but I'm also making a video. But the guy hasn't said a word to me. They come up, they honk next to you, they try to drag race you and things, which I'm fine with normally, but at the same time, say hi. Or random group invites, that's another one that really bugs me. Say something to me, offer, you know, to come out and hang out, things like that. Don't just send random friend invites, random crew invites. And things like that. I can understand in the console versions chatting's a little bit harder. I think, I'm not sure if they've actually added it because I don't normally use it, but they were looking into voice support. And you may be able to do voice in a crew now, I think. We're getting into some serious terrain. Oh, gonna hit that tree. Ah! Let me lose him in here. But, yeah, so on the PC ones, I mean, how hard is it to grab your keyboard for a second and say hi? Oh, mid-air tree collision. I think I finally got rid of him. Watch it turn out to be some fan who's trying to get a hold of my attention. Again, chat, I check the box. I usually only turn it off when I'm doing a video, so it's almost always on. This is a steep hill. But yeah, take a minute to chat, say hi to people around you. Every now and then I do find somebody who talks in there, and everybody says the same thing, that nobody ever talks. They didn't expect anyone to reply. Hey, floating tree. So I don't mind the occasional graphic glitch like that. They're going to happen with this size of a world. Some people complain because a lot of it's boring and open. I like the fact of just what I'm doing right now. You can just seriously just drive in a straight line. You don't need roads. Oh, I didn't even flip over. Not liking the Hummer. Could be a different raid. How about a bike? But yeah, just saying hi to people makes a huge difference, and there is a good community on the forums and among video makers and things like that, which is kind of cool. The Born Racers group that I'm in on Google+, a bunch of those guys make YouTube videos and stuff, and they're kind of cool, but definitely associate in-game more. It makes things more fun for everybody. I definitely understand not talking during a race, but there's a lot of times where people are just hanging out in town or taking pictures or whatnot. Anyway, trying to think of where I want to go next. I do, yeah, like I was kind of in the middle of saying before, is I do like the fact that you can just pick a point and go to it. And some people have done some really cool videos, and I want to do some since I find something to race with, where you take a performance car, or they did it with a dirt spec and a raid spec bike. And the idea was that the dirt spec had to stick to the dirt roads, and the raid bike had to drive wherever they wanted. It's one of Black Panther's videos. If you don't subscribe to him, you should check him out. He's kind of does some fun stuff. If you can get over Matthew's loud and obnoxious introductions at the beginning. But they were doing that where they were taking a dirt car on the road, on a dirt road, and a raid bike, and the raid bike got to go straight through. And I will say Panther cheated on that. But anyway, fun stuff like that you can do that you can't do in other games because of the open world the way it is. Is there a lot of open space like this where there's nothing? Sure, but that's kind of the fun, especially when you have raid specs. Somebody mentioned in a post on another thread that the cities were all like cookie cutter and bland, and some are, but I find there enough difference that after playing for so long, I can actually tell my way around when I'm on the street. I know what town I'm in just by the way they look. So there's definitely differences to the looks. Should be doing some tricks off these. And kind of heading back down towards the salt flats. But yeah, you'll learn your way around eventually, and you can definitely tell the difference between all the different locations and things. It's different enough that it's obvious to somebody who plays, maybe not so much to somebody who doesn't play all the time. But I honestly think that's one of the cool aspects of the actual game is the map and where you can go anywhere, do anything. The design your own race feature that came with Wild Run was a huge addition for me. Sadly, people who don't own Wild Run can't run your tracks. Oh, can we do a double? Yeah. Bikes are a lot of fun too, despite the recent nerfs for them. I will say that. I think I did a whole video complaining about the nerfs to bikes. They were dominating the game, so I'm glad they nerfed them, but at the same time, I had fun with my bike. Oh, I'm not going to make that. Oh, that was close. So, I'm kind of disappointed that they nerfed them, and I like that they nerfed them at the same time. I think I would have been fine with them being the way they were before had they just separated the what do you call it, the records and things, so that bikes had their own records instead of sharing records. That I'm not going to make. It's a little rough terrain. Oh, gonna fall off. Ah. But, I didn't even try to do a backflip there. That was an accident. So I think I touched on most of the things that annoy me. Little things, definitely fixable things. Adding more cars should be easy for them at this point. Oh, that was pretty steep to climb up. This is another fun thing you can do with the bikes, is go out here and do a rock climbing. Got him. Whoa. Make sure you lean forward when you go climbing up those, though, or you'll end up flipping right over. Done that before. I think I might be stuck now. Yep, I'm back down. So, anyway. Oh, look, our friend's back. Yeah, I gotta wonder if that isn't the Matthew from Black Panther's videos. That would be entertaining. Anyway. Yeah, definitely adding some form of permanent crew in the form of guilds. Adding more customization to decals and things, which I'm not sure they can do, as I said, with the way... I thought I could pull that one off. With the way that the game's been designed, I'm not sure if it's too late to change that, so... That I can let slide, though. Having a car game without the extra customization, especially in the decals, just seemed kind of short-sighted to begin with. That was a good one. Whoa. Very rough terrain here. chat window up in case you wanted to say something. The socialization part is definitely up to the players to do. The tools are there for it. They just don't use it. So, can't really blame the developer for that. And car selection is a huge one. There's no reason. One of the things I loved about the Need for Speed world is that they literally added new cars like every week. And sure, you need modelers to do that stuff, but they've got modelers on staff. Even different years of cars that already exist, so you don't need... Oh, that would have been bad. So you don't need a completely new model. You can use one that already exists and just edit it a little. Things like that. More customizations would be good. I never did look back up what the other spec was you couldn't customize. It might be Raid. I want to say it's Raid. I'm not gonna make that. And no circuit's one of them, and I can understand why you can't customize the circuit. Would be nice to see at least some parts that you could customize on the circuit. Different spoilers or something. Definitely give us the option to remove wings from cars, especially on specs where we don't want them. A lot of those classic muscle cars in certain specs are forced to have these gigantic, gaudy wings, which I can appreciate. I put them on my drift cars and stuff. They're fun on certain cars. I don't want them on my muscle cars, except in maybe drag where they kind of need them. Oh. Tire grip and maybe turn. But yeah, painting options, that I don't see why they can't do. They already have damage models for the different parts and quadrants of the car, so it shouldn't be that hard to add in the ability to paint them separately. I'm not a programmer, so I have no idea how things are coded in the game, but that seems like something that can be done relatively easily. And I roughly talked about it, but I didn't actually show it. Is the build your own races. So this is how you do this. You can save these. You can share them with your friends via code. So you pick where you want your starting line to be. I'll say there. We're going to race up to here. That's a dirt road. Now we're going to cut back across the salt flats, which is really rough. See, it's going to tell you to take that dirt road. Back down to here. And you can zoom in to put these exactly where you want. Sadly, it doesn't do laps, which is one of the asked for features. That's too close. There we go. There's a really short one. And then we can run it real quick. You can make these up to 10 checkpoints. Oops, I closed the window instead of actually changing car like I wanted to. And what makes these really neat is the ability to cross different cars. When you do these kind of events, one player can use circuit spec, one player can use a performance spec, and so on. Or you can do what I was talking about earlier, where one guy's in a performance or whatnot, one guy's in a raid, and make one guy stick to the road. There's no rules to enforce that kind of stuff, so it's kind of friendly. Gentleman rules, but... And you do get stuff for doing these, which is kind of fun too. They even count towards the summit. I don't think I've driven this car since I bought parts for it. It's faster now. And these are just a blast when you build a really nice one with a bunch of friends. And I'm gonna try... I forgot I made the turn there. Circuit cars do not work well off-road. So I'm going to try to do more videos of... I'm trying to get more people together so I can do some multiplayer. But do some videos where we go to different player-built tracks. And either, in the very least, do head-to-head or time trials. God, I should have went over to that dirt road after all. I wasn't thinking it was going to take me this long to get back to the dirt road. There we go. Surfing on dirt seems to be kind of slow. Let's get back on the flats. And I think it'll be really cool to compare times and things on player-made tracks, especially when you get some really nice ones. I have a whole list of ones that I really like and enjoy. And these added a whole new twist to the game for me. Just need more people to actually go out and do them with. And it pretty much wraps up everything I wanted to talk about in this video, so I'm going to get myself back to the finish line here. There was one of those seams in the world I talked about way back in the beginning. They're more prominent on lower graphic settings, but even maxed out in the game, you can see them if you know where you're looking. Drifting at 150 miles an hour in a circuit car. There's another one. Like I sent me a friend invite, but still hasn't talked to me. Oh, that wasn't the finish line. One more turn. Oh, it's getting dark and my headlights haven't come on yet. That's another big one that people complain about. See, now you can really see those seam lines. And again, part of that's my graphic settings. But even on my high-end machine, you can still see them. See, and then you can save those and adjust your favorites. It even shows you across the top there that one section's in dirt, the rest is on pavement. When you first start, it tells you all those. We're going to delete that one because I really don't care. And you can save up to a certain amount of those as well. But yeah, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this video. And not that the people from Ubisoft will actually watch and take any of my ideas, but I would love to see some of those things show up in game. For now, it's still a really cool game. There's a lot of things you can do, even if you're a solo player. If you can get together with people, you can make up your own stuff, which is what a lot of people do. You see a lot of YouTube videos of people just going out and doing whatever they want. And that's one of the cool aspects of it. It's kind of sandboxy. But definitely a lot they could still do to add more to the game, and hopefully they will with some extra competition coming out this fall with Forza Horizon 3 coming to PC. I don't think Need for Speed really hurt it much because they kind of catered to different audiences. Despite, I know I really wasn't all that interested in Need for Speed, the most recent one, so we'll have to see where they go from there. But hopefully they add something, at least new cars. Love to see some new areas. You can already on the map go to the border for Mexico. Granted, there's only one spot, I think, which is down here somewhere. Yeah, it's the actual international border. I'd love to see them continue these roads on and actually add Mexico in, or that's the Baja Peninsula. But yeah, you got all of Mexico down here they could do something with, or even Canada. Or another continent entirely. We joked about Europe or Australia. Forza Horizon 3 is going to Australia, so that might be a little too close to home, but European crew would be interesting. Anyway, thanks for watching, and if you liked the video, be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.